me. That's my twin on the cover of your booklet, okay? It's not me. But anyway, I told the printer, make the picture kind of like this big, but he made it way too big. So anyway, so we are doing a drawing for something super exciting. And the whole concept of this meeting is helping you guys navigate these waters that are changing. Real estate's constantly changing. I actually was a realtor from 96 to 2006. And then my wife, who's at my table back there, got me in the mortgage business by doing so good in the mortgage business. Her job was overtaking my job. So that's how I'm here. I'm really a realtor in disguise as a loan officer. Have been doing loans for 10 years, or actually going on 13 years now. And I understand it's difficult for you guys. So I appreciate you guys coming out. We want to always give you things that are concrete that you can take, kind of like Kenny Rogers said, you know, in The Gambler, an ace you can take home. That's what we want you to have. Take something home that you can use. So we want to kick it off with a little bit of fun. So first, Scott, if you would come up, he is going to be our lovely Vanna White. He is going to pull out the card, the magical card. Dig deep.
Let's do this. Let's do it for a free appraisal. Y'all want a free appraisal? Yeah. And then I'll put it back in so you can win one of the big
Okay, all right, a free appraisal. That's pretty awesome. All right, who do we have? It is Jigisha Shah. All right, free appraisal. You want to write free appraisal? Oh, look at that. He had it ready to go. Okay, so there's the first one. Then the second one, Tim, could you come up and tell us just for a minute about, draw another one, and then we're going to see who the winner, we're not going to show the winner at the turn. All right, you got it? All right, come and introduce the prize.
Is that the winner of this?
That's the winner of Tim's prize.
Okay, cool. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to talk about branding here in just a little bit, but I'm going to give away, we've already pre-selected this name here out of the bucket, this box, right? And let me tell you what's in this box. I need your help, Tony, because I'm trying to hold a microphone and a box at the same time. Okay. All right, so you're going to be the Vanna White.
Yes.
And I'm going to teach you some branding right off the get-go before we go back and teach the rest of the class. So if we open up the box, let me tell you what's in this box. It's amazing stuff. So open up the box. Somebody's going to win my sales book, right? Because you got to have motivation. Would you guys agree with that? Motivation is critical. Yes or yes? Yes. I love it. Okay, so that's in there. And then every month we produce free business plans. Somebody say free. Y'all like free business plans? For your business, there's an October issue and another issue that's in there. So that's really awesome. And then if you just get really bored, I've got a coloring book of my dog. She's really famous in Nashville. So that's, oh, and by the way, this one's paw graphed. So not every one of them are paw graphed, but she's got her autograph in the back of it. So that's a very valuable. And then 27 ways to brand yourself as a real estate agent. Pretty good, huh? And then a t-shirt, right? All of that stuff in the Bible can change your life. And somebody's going to win it right now. All right, so here we go. Where do we get? We got our card?
That's right.
Okay, from Maximum One, Carla Van Pelt. Where's Carla? Carla, get up here and get the prize. Hey, come on.
I want some more
I
dance.
just want to see her dance some more.
I did too. Well, wait a minute. I was just about to ask, what size is that t-shirt first?
What size is that t-shirt? It's a medium. It fits everybody. Are we good?
Yes,
Anybody else
so
coming?
Scott was going to talk,
Okay.
and then Tori, and then we're going to do the branding part next.
Okay.
So
Another drawing at the end.
okay. So I'll introduce Scott Murphy. Scott is probably the biggest fan of realtors in the room. That is no joke, and I sincerely mean that. He's worked on the governor's board. He constantly advocates for higher property values. And I say that sincerely. I, as much as I can, use his company. Not because, this is probably, I think, our first time ever really talking and meeting in all the years that we've done business. But I just have deep respect for the way he does his business and how he trains his appraisers. So with no further ado, I want to invite him to share with us.
Thanks, John, and I'm only going to be up here for a few more minutes so we can get right on to a quick talk from Tori and then on to Tim. But what John was sort of getting at too is that I believe in the market, and I make my appraisers believe in the market. As I said earlier, the definition of market value is that meeting of the minds. So you really shouldn't have a problem One of the only reasons you might have a problem is if the market is at a quick ramp up, or there's a point at which it's very difficult to prove that value. So just be cautious when you get those multiple offers, or you get the people that come in and make that $20,000 leap over everyone else. There could be a situation where, you know, it may not be able to be proven yet, although we all believe in the market. So that's the challenge. How would you all like to know who the worst lenders are out there? Yeah.
You already know.
You already know, exactly. Really, from an appraisal standpoint, Quicken Home Loans is on the top of my list. And I advise you to be very careful and cautious accepting offers from them, or even allowing your buyers to use them from an appraisal standpoint only. I mean, their Rocket Mortgage, whatever their products are, may be fabulous, but they're notorious in the appraisal industry for underpaying appraisals and just overly beating up the appraisers on the review process. They're followed very closely by Wells Fargo, and really, you can run down the list, Chase and Bank of America, the big banks, because they got so hurt and harmed in the downturn. Also, they have had appraisal management companies for decades, so it was nothing new to them. The issue was that they were constantly overseeing and putting, again, a lot of the negative pressure, if you will, on the appraisers to keep values very conservative. You've all heard of a whole list of things that appraisers can and cannot do, right? How far are you allowed to go for comps? 1 mile? The answer is there is no distance parameter. I can go as far as I want. Well, as far as I have to find similar comparables. I can't jump over other comparables, but there is no limit. It's a guideline. How far back can I go in time? I can use a comp that's 2 years old. If I'm in like a downtown Marietta area and I've got a historic home and the last one that sold is right across the street, I'm going to use that one every day. It's easier to adjust for time than to try to find another, make adjustments for the historic home. So just remember, all these things are shoulds, not musts. But these lenders that I had just mentioned to you interpret them as musts. And they put the appraiser to the point that, you know, if you're going to make that site adjustment, you better give me 3 additional comparables to prove your adjustment. And so they take the appraiser's professional ability away from him, and it dumbs down the appraisal process. So now the next time, instead of the appraiser making the adjustment for the lot size difference that he thinks is valid, he's just going to make no adjustment. And I wrote an article some time ago that 0 is an adjustment. 0 is an adjustment. When an appraiser puts 0 on a line, that means he feels the subject and the comparables are similar. And a lot of appraisers have gotten to the point that they've been pushed by lenders to not make any adjustment. I can't find any pool comps. You've got a pool. I can't find any comps, so I'm just going to not adjust for it. I'm not going to give you any credit for it. My subject's on 3/4 of an acre, and the other comps in the neighborhood are on half an acre or less. I'm not going to adjust for it. And that's crazy, because we all know that a buyer is going to pay a premium for a pool, or a buyer is going to pay a premium for a larger lot. So that's the big part of the reason. And I feel bad for Wells Fargo, because I know a lot of people at Wells Fargo, and they can't just go from having bad appraisers and paying them more money. So it was a whole revamping thing that they're trying to go through to fix their process. Use companies like Movement Mortgage, local lenders that have the ability to control their pool of appraisers. They pay us extremely fairly, and they choose the best appraisers in the market. It goes into a pool. John has no ability to choose that. I do it, and it gets rotated through good, competent appraisers who know the area. The other thing that these other lenders, these bad lenders, do is they're out there having appraisers bid. Do you want an appraiser that's bidding to get your job? So he's just going to keep lowering his fee until he gets the job. They're looking for the guy who's going to do it the cheapest and the fastest. And so just be aware of that. That's something that you need to be mindful of. We talked a little bit earlier, or before the break, about how the iBuyers are impacting the market. And something that Horace said in his presentation is he's the master of his subdivision. That's his territory. And all of you probably have your own stomping ground. So by you jumping in and adopting the things that were being talked about today, bringing Tori and UpSell in so that sales can actually sell at a higher amount, is going to have a huge impact on your local market, rather than letting them sell to an iBuyer or being just sold as is. So keep that in mind, that you know, you have a little bit of control of the direction of your neighborhood, and you want to be responsible for that positive impact. So, and just, you know, like Horace said too, communicating with them, opening their eyes to what is really going on and what they're giving up when they're selling it to these iBuyers. So I think iBuyers are here and they're here to stay, but I think that they're going to continue to expand off to their other markets, and we won't see as intensive focus on our Atlanta market as we move forward. So, but that's why you're here today, to learn other tools and techniques so that you can compete and stay on top of that. So I'm going to let Tori come up and give you a few more, take some questions or what have you, and then we're right on to Tim.
And if you guys, we've got a question over here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Also, you guys, there are a lot of classes on appraisals, on how an appraisal interacts with the CMA that you do. We have, Scott is so nice to offer CE. We offer CE credit for appraisal field trips. So just a huge variety of educational opportunities for you guys, so that the appraisers aren't the bad guys. And I know as a broker, I get asked all the time, how do I fight this appraisal? How do I do this? And my response as a broker, just one thing you can comment on, is don't fight it after the fact, right? It's hard to change someone's mind and paperwork after it's been submitted, because if you tell an appraiser his appraisal is wrong, if somebody tells you you're wrong, what's the first thing you do? You're defensive, and all of a sudden you're defending what you did rather than working side by side to try and deal with the issue. So a couple of things that I teach our agents, and as instructor to any agent regardless of who your broker is. If you are the listing agent, once you go under contract, change the showing instructions in FMLS and Georgia MLS to appointment only. What's that going to make the appraiser do? Call the listing agent to schedule a time. That way you know when the appraiser is going to be there, right? Then meet the appraiser at the property. Show the appraiser the comps you've done. You guys should both be doing comps on the listing side and on the buying side. How do you know your buyer's not paying too much? Right? It's great if the buyer pays too little, they're getting a good deal, right? But so show, especially if it's a tricky property, bring the comps with you.
The good ones and the bad ones. Show them why they're bad.
Especially, you guys are way more familiar with some of these properties than some of the appraisers are. You know, we've got some of these big old huge mega subdivisions where they're like little tiny subdivisions within subdivisions. It's like, okay, as an agent new to this area, well, why is this house listed at this price and this house is $200,000 more in the same subdivision? Well, once you get knowledgeable and educated on this, bring that to meet the appraiser at the property to help, because sometimes you're more informed about a specific area that you have made your master of your domain, that area. And I hear that y'all like cookies. And
yeah, I like red wine, cookies. Are you allowed to talk to the appraiser? Yes. Don't let an appraiser tell you you're not allowed to talk to them. You may encounter the guy that gives you the stiff arm and says, I'm not allowed to talk to you, you're biased. Of course you're biased. He needs to grow up and do his job. Any information you give me, I'm going to go out and verify. But I may not have been able to get that information if you didn't give it to me. So please give him as much information as possible. Definitely take the lockbox off. Make it. I know a lot of agents say appraisers should all have lockbox keys, so I don't have to meet them out there. Unfortunately, there's too many bad appraisers out there right now that you need to take that extra step. Send you or someone from your team out there to make sure that they get all the information that you have. Give them a copy of our appraisal. Give them the upgrade sheet. Go ahead and jot on there even the dollar amounts, because we're not done. Even if I get you value on your appraisal, we still got an underwriter upstream that has to approve it. And the more information I have to convince him or her of the quality of the upgrades or what have you is so important as well. So all that is great stuff.
Got a question for you. If I'm representing a client that's doing a rehab on a property, extensive rehab.
Yes.
And it's in an area where we've got a lot of massive houses.
Mm-hmm.
We bought it for the lot.
Yeah.
We're separating it, renovating one, and developing the lots.
Right.
the comps for the area, because you have a house that's selling for $4 million here, one that's $1 million here. Our house we're trying to get a certain figure for.
Right.
When is the best time for me to say you have?
Oh, great question. So you're representing a client, or even just a regular listing. You've got a whole list of things that you already know that they want to do. Let me come out earlier in the process rather than you get it all done, because then I might have said, well, you should have done this or you shouldn't have done that. Especially in a process like this, you're doing a massive renovation. Let us come out and be your consultant on the front end and guide you in the right direction.
Can I take that to the appraiser too? When the appraiser comes in, can I leave my consultation appraisal?
Of course, that's what we want you to do. Leave it there so that he knows that you've hired us. It gives him information to use. He's still responsible for measuring the house and doing everything that he's supposed to do, but it should help move the process along.
So a follow-up to that, so if you come in and you counsel and say, if you do this and this, it'll help bring the value up.
Right.
You do the appraisal after, or you do it and then?
If we decided on what's going to be
revise it
done,
after?
I'll do the appraisal subject to whatever we decide on.
Okay.
So we work together as a team, bring Tori in, and we say, okay, this is how we're going to do it, and that's how I do my value. If somebody really wanted both numbers or some alternatives, there's maybe an extra $100 fee that we can do you 2 different versions. Yeah.
Is there a difference between a land appraiser and a house, like someone that's just specialized in the land?
There are probably a few appraisers who just specialize in land, but a lot of people think that a land appraisal should be much cheaper because you don't have to go through a house. Land appraisals are actually much more difficult and more complicated because it opens up the whole highest and best use question. What can we really build on it? You know, should we be building another 5,700 square foot home, or can we get townhouses and all that? So it's a pretty in-depth conversation about land.
Do you compare it like to what is zoned at?
Ah.
Compare it to-
We use what's called highest and best use, which generally is what it's zoned at, but if there's a high likelihood that it can go commercial, you're on a secondary road, everything else is commercial, there's no question that it would be able to go commercial, then we would do it to that highest and best use. But be very careful of that term you see a lot out there, potential commercial. Yeah, 20 years from now it'll go commercial, but not today. So that's part of our analysis to determine the likelihood of that, and we go from there. And we can come in and counsel people too as to, you've got 10 acres, what can you do? What's the best thing? We look at townhouses or subdivisions or all kinds of other things. So, great. Well, hopefully if this has sparked some more interest about appraisals, as Dana said, we teach all of our classes through her school, and you're more than welcome to come. One of them, my favorite class, is our field trip class, where we actually meet out at a house. And we have an inspection division and an appraisal division, so we bring an inspector. You get to go around with him half the time to see what he looks for, and you get to go around with me, the appraiser, the other half the time to see what we're looking for. So that's another 3-hour course that will be offered very soon. So thanks very much, and let me have Tori speak for just a second.
Awesome. Good job. It's good info. Everybody have a good lunch? Yeah? Ours was not very good. I won't say where we went though. Is there anyone in here that wasn't in the morning session? Just curious. So we got repeat offenders? That's good. All right, well listen, just kind of jumping back into it. I didn't really touch on this a whole lot, but kind of where we see us kind of being able to help you guys with the whole iBuyers is, I guess their biggest argument is not having showings, right? And just that disruption in family life. I believe that if you do the house and prepare the house the right way, whether it's with us or it's just a decor thing, if you have the house right from the get-go, you're setting the listing up and the family up for success to get the home turned quickly and hopefully just a few showings and go from there. So that is another reason why an organization or a company like us is super helpful. And I wanted to kind of just jump into a couple of just success stories, and then if you guys have questions, by all means. But we do have a really great. Should I go to the other room? We're good. All right. No. So. Couple of different victories that we've had recently. We had a home that was listed for 3 months. The agent approached us and just said, hey, listen, we're having a problem selling it. Will you come in and just kind of give us a scenario? It was a nice house, great bones, needed a lot of work, okay? And they kept getting the same feedback over and over. And I think what you'll find, you'll have some homeowners that'll just roll with what you're saying, and they'll take your word for it, and they'll jump in, you know, full-fledged and just let us start the process straight away before they ever list. But you'll have some folks that will say, well, let's just dip a toe in the water. Let's just see if we get any traction, and if not, then we'll address it at that point. Well, that was this particular family. The house was great, needed a lot of work, and we gave them kind of 3 scenarios, kind of a good, better, and best. Best was we felt like we would get just top dollar and you know, a lot of just hidden equity there in the home, but certain things needed to happen. And they ended up going with kind of a better instead of the best. And great news was within, we started the project. It was about a $48,000 project. We did the project, took us 15 days. If many of you know anything about construction, that's pretty fast. And one of the reasons why we were able to achieve that, it was vacant, which helped. But we did the project in 15 days. Jen, our lead designer, did a great job of storyboarding it so the agent knew exactly what we were going to do, all the different movements. He began to call all of the folks that said, great house, but needs too much for us. The first people that he reached out to came back out to the house, saw what we were doing. He cast the vision for all the things that were going to be done. It took us 15 days to finish the project. They closed from the time we started within 21 days. So it went from a 3-month project where nothing was happening. They were just getting no after no after no, and it closed in 21 days. So that was pretty exciting. Almost every single one of the projects that we've worked on, they have not only got their money out of it that they initially invested, but it's also paid for the real estate fees, and in a lot of cases, there's been additional money left over. So they were truly finding equity, and it's kind of that old adage of looking under the seat cushion and see if there's any money there. Well, we're kind of doing that. We're being, I guess, equity detectives, trying to find the most ways that we can maximize what they have in their house, because most people, that's their biggest asset. And so any way that as an agent you're able to kind of wrangle as much money for them, it's going to create a great story. And as a result, you guys are going to get word of mouth leads because people are excited about that when good things happen. That's high level between what we talked about before. Backing up. Anyway, between what we talked about before and that, I just wanted to kind of make a few notes of that. I don't know if you guys have any questions around it. Yes, sir.
I have a question. If I'm working with a buyer and if I have a house that needs a lot of work, do you have a program for that, like a 203K mortgage?
Yes, so good question. We've talked around that. We're completely open. Like I said before, we want to be the company of yes. We look for ways not to say no, and we've actually worked on it. Nothing's come to fruition with this related to the program, but we have worked on a couple scenarios where the agent of the buyer has gone to the seller and tried to work through, hey, if these things are done, we'd be all over this house. So we are definitely open and trying to be creative. Our biggest thing is we want an exit strategy because we're putting our money up. So we want to know that a real estate transaction's happening, right? So obviously in the traditional sense, we are incredibly protective of you as agents. Here's what I mean by that. You cannot work with us if you don't have a listing agreement with an agent, okay? As of right now, we only market to real estate agents. There will come a time where we'll probably flip the script and we'll start to educate the general public on what we're doing. When that happens, the agents that are in our program will be in a lead referral program. And so our goal down the line is to work hand in hand with you guys. You're bringing us business, you're familiar with the program and the way that it works, well then of course we're going to try to reward you because of the business connection that we already have with you. And I told you I was an agent. I will never take a lead. And when we first created this program, you talk about a lot of different scenarios, and that was one where I just said, not happening. Those things will be, leads are going to be considered valuable to our clients, and we more or less see you as our client and facilitating and helping your client. I saw a hand back. Yes.
Do you offer a warranty? What is that? Or material?
We will definitely stand by our work. So during the transaction, if something were to be an issue, we will definitely do that. We're completely used to standing by our work, just in the more traditional means where somebody's going to be living in the house, they've already owns the house, and we've done the work, and we've always stood by our work. So absolutely.
Is that like a 90 days out, or is that a year out, or how long is that?
Yeah, so it would be for the while the home is listed, and while we're joined together. But if there are any issues that are errant or blatant, we're going to definitely make that right even after the fact. Yes.
Two questions. First of all, your service area.
We're the Metro Atlanta area, so we're pretty broad. We, if I had to just like pinpoint, I would say, south of the city, Peachtree City area. As far north as, call it, north part of Canton. We've been as far west as Villa Rica, as far east as Carrollton, Conyers, and there's Covington, thank you. So we're pretty broad.
And then the other question, we were talking about you during lunch. And,
Well, that's not nice.
well, it's good.
I wasn't there to defend
Good.
myself.
If there's a client, a seller that does not have any, their credit's not great, but they've got equity in their home, how do you make a determination of who you can and can't work with?
It's an awesome question. So, primarily what we look at is the equity in the home. We want there to be at least, kind of the bogey is 20%. I know Horace had said there's other companies that are a little skewed a little worse than that, but we're 20%. What we really eyeball is what are the improvements that need to have take place, and can we stay under a 90% loan to value threshold? If we can do that, then in most every case, we're going to be a player. If it's a humongous project, we're going to have more scrutiny over it than if it was a $15,000, $20,000 project. If it's over $35,000, one of the things that we are going to require, just the way that we're set up, is an appraisal. We rely on you guys for CMAs. That's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because, we all want the deal to work out, and so we can find the right houses and whatever. But my point in saying that is, we do have a certain level of scrutiny where we'll take a close look at things. But if it goes over $35,000, then we're going to jump into an appraisal type of scenario.
But as far as the personal credit,
the credit, we're not as worried about that as we are the equity in the home.
okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Last question.
In terms of rehabbing, kind of gives us a picture of what $50,000 may get you.
Sure, that's a good question. So going back to the project I told you was at $48,000. We updated the kitchen, refinished the cabinets, updated the master bathroom, redid the back deck, added some wood accents to a couple accent walls, put in a really cool cedar beam that was custom made for the mantle, redid the flooring on the main level added lighting, those types of things. I'm sorry?
So how did you make any money? That's a lot.
Yeah, so, you know, I will say this, we're very efficient at what we do. And we've been in the industry a long time, and we just, you know, we buy in volume, we buy strategic things to where we know that it's good quality, but, you know, we know it's always in stock, and, you know, we keep efficiencies in place. So that's where I go back to. We knew everything was gonna be in stock, and we were able to turn a $48,000 project in 15 days. If that's stretched out over a month and a half, we lose money. So. Hey, thank you so much. We'll be outside if you need anything, have any questions after the rest of the CE. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Awesome new ways to think outside of the box to help our public in a variety of ways, especially as a solution for iBuyers. But I can physically see the wheels turning in your heads for some clients you're already dealing with. So without further ado, stay tuned after we've got Tim.Davis and we've got Shannon Wetterhand, and then we have another drawing from John Zupancic with America's Preferred Home Warranty at the very end. So without further ado though,
Cool.
the agent branding master himself, Tim.Davis.
Thanks. Thank you. All right, what's my time? Give me my time. Tell me when to shut up.
Let me look.
Okay, they're gonna tell me when to shut up. Hey, can you not move over here? Or is that just him? No, I can move.
For some reason with his voice.
With his voice? So it's okay.
3:15.
And what time is it now?
2:11. Got just over an
Okay, who won the box? Bring the box up here. I'm getting the box back. I decided I'm not. And I'm just teasing. Come on. I'm not taking the box back. I want to show you. I promised you guys I'd show you guys a branding strategy real quick. I need the box to show you this. So, come on. I'm not taking the box back. You know, like he's gonna take the box back. All right. Now tell me your name again. Carla, can you hold the box for me a second? Come on, go over here so everybody can see. Okay. All right. Now listen, guys. I've got to cover a lot of material in a little short amount of time. Okay. But I want to teach you something about branding. Branding is all about packaging, positioning, and promoting yourself in such a way that the client sees you as the leading expert and says yes to you instead of everybody else. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes. Okay. All right. Now this is a branding strategy that I came across this year, and it's worked out fantastic, and I'll show you how to use it for your business. This box. Anybody want to take a guess how much it costs to get that box printed?
Yeah.
Yeah. How much? $2.
$2.99.
$2.99. Cost me $1.34 fully printed. All right, $1.34 fully printed. Now I'm going to go through as much of this material as I can today to show you guys you've got to position yourself now as a publisher of content. If you're just telling somebody something, how many of you guys have ever told somebody some advice only to find out a week later they didn't listen? Because they went and asked somebody else for advice and they took somebody else's advice. Has that ever happened to you guys? Here's why. People don't put the same amount of value on your spoken word that they put on your written word. Okay? So these boxes you can get from boxup.com. Boxup.com. And the minimum quantity I ordered was like 60, I think, at the time. $1.34. Can you imagine? Like if I was a real estate agent, I'll tell you exactly what I would do. I would get this box made with my image on it, huge and big, because it's all about personal branding, and they got to know who you are. Okay, so that's why I've got my big mug on there, Photoshop with a tan and everything. So that helps. Okay, now you put your big mug on there, and you get your branding all on there. And say somebody calls you up and they want to list their home, and they're going to interview you and like 5 other people. Has that ever happened to anybody in the room? Hey, we're interviewing agents this Saturday. You want to show up and I'm not showing up for an interview. I'm showing up for a signature. Does that make sense? I don't interview. I get things signed. So this is going to show up at their house before that with a book on how to sell, a book on how to buy, all kinds of stuff that dispute all the information that these other guys, these iBuyer companies are out there, they're using the media to create the narrative. I've got to create my own narrative back against them. Does that make sense, guys? And for under $8, I'm gonna have books and everything in there, a t-shirt, all kinds of stuff, a coloring book for the kids. All that's gonna show up before I show up. So when I show up for the listing appointment, you better bring it strong if you're the realtor after me, because I just sent a box and I gave their kids a coloring book. Right? And if you show up with a business card, that's not going to work, right? All right, thank you for coming up and showing. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. All right, now, we're going to do this presentation super fast, but I'm going to hit some highlights for you guys, and I move around a lot, so are you good with that? Okay, it has to be. All right, so I don't know what else to say. My wife tells me I'm too honest, but I like, y'all like, raise your hand if you like honest people. Okay, so this side of the room likes honest people, and this side of the room, okay. See, I've got a neighbor in my neighborhood, and he bought a dog, and he will not train the dog. And the dog jumps on you, and it's awful. It's miserable. And so I get out, and I'm walking my dog's fully trained, and I go to the other side of the street every time I see him. I don't even stop to talk to him anymore. And he goes, why do you do that? I'm like, because his dog jumps, and I don't want the dog to jump on me. So I saw him the other day, and I said, Michael, he goes, come over here and talk to me. I'm like, no, I'm not. Your dog jumps. You need to train your dog. You're a bad pet owner. You shouldn't own that dog. And I walked back home. And his wife called my wife and said, your husband talked bad to my husband. I'm like, that's just how I am. I'm just honest. So, y'all need to know that's a disclaimer up front. All right. Another quick disclaimer up front. Listen, have you ever met anybody that's a perfectionist in life? You know what I'm talking about. My wife's a perfectionist. Like, she can spell everything. I can't spell anything. Right? She is a perfectionist. This presentation will be bad if you're a perfectionist. I'm just going to tell you right now. So if you're sitting next to a perfectionist, go ahead and hit 911 on the phone, because you're going to hit the other one for the emergency vehicle to come and get them fast. Because they're going to start sweating. They're not going to have a heart attack. But I've given you your warning, so I am no longer responsible for any untimely heart attacks today, because if you're a perfectionist, you're going to have trouble today. But if you're just the type of person that will say yes and figure it out along the way, you're going to love what we talk about today, how to brand yourself. Because if you have to know like every step that's going to happen sequentially, you'll never get anything done. You just say yes, and then you figure it out as you go. That's how it works. All right. Now, what are y'all laughing about? Did I do something funny already? I'm just telling you. All right. Now look, I got 3 promises, right? The promise number 1, first off, do you like it when people make promises to you? And do you like it when they keep them? Yes. And what happens when somebody doesn't keep a promise? My number 1 answer is they kill them. I hear more agents say, you kill them. I'm like, why do you kill people like that? All right, you lose trust. Can you get trust back? Nope, it's hard. All right, so I'm going to give you 3 promises. Promise number 1, you came to have fun today. Did you come to listen to a boring lecture? I didn't think so, right? Number 2, you come to learn how to build your personal brand, right? Yes or yes? Yes. Okay, that's a sales strategy, by the way. Y'all need to learn how to do that. What's your name, sir? Vivian. Vivian? You a real estate agent? Yes. Okay. All right, so when you go to a listing appointment, you're sitting in the living room, and tell me the name again. Vivian? Fabian. Fabian. Okay, Fabian. So you're like, all right, my name's Fabian, and this is what your house is going to sell for. I've done all the research. This is my marketing plan. You walk in with confidence first. Okay? All right, if you don't have confidence, don't knock on the door. Just sit in their driveway. I'm not kidding you. Like, they're going to call the cops on you, and the cops come up, and you're still sitting there going, why are you sitting in the driveway? I'm like, I don't have enough confidence to knock on the door. Tim told me not to do it. Go up there until I have confidence, right? Put on Tony Robbins, Joe Osteen, or Biggie. I don't know who you have to listen to. Get some confidence. You go in there, and you say to them, like, look, I'm going to sell this house. This is what it's going to sell for. This is what you're going to net. I'm the right person to do it. Don't you agree? Yes or yes? See how fast he said that? Don't ever go, hey, would you like to check with somebody first? Because if they check with somebody, let me tell you what. If they say they have to check with somebody, here's what you just heard. You need another referral because this one's gone. Right? Because they're going to check with their neighbor that changes oil for a living, and they're going to get real estate advice for them, and next thing you know, that deal's dead. Right? So you got to go in there with a blue pen and hand it to them and go, I'm going to need some autographs today, like you're famous. Does that make sense, guys? All right. And number 3, I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to build a brand. Step by step. So you can take notes or take pictures, or if you look to your neighbor and you're like, man, he takes really good notes. I love his handwriting. Just take his notes. Just beat him to the car. I'm good with that, okay? All right. Now, I made 3 promises to you guys. I'm going to make a promise to somebody. So look to your right or to your left. That's your neighbor for this exercise. All right, here's how this is going to work. You've got to talk out loud, right? And say this out loud after me. Say, shy real estate agents who don't market themselves have very hungry kids. It's true. Y'all need to set up a GoFundMe page to pay pay for the grocery bill. You gotta market yourself and get some deals going. All right, now look at your neighbor and say right after me. So look at your neighbor and say, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Look, I'm glad you're here. And I'm gonna make you a promise. And the reason I'm gonna make you this promise is the world we live in is a crazy messed up place. All right, just stop a second. Y'all know that last statement's true, right? Okay. All right, let's keep going. But look at him and say, no matter what happens, I promise that you can always, and I mean always, count on me to look better than you. All right, let's go. I told you we got to go fast. We got to get this thing going, right? Don't break that promise, by the way. Don't see somebody in the hallway and go, listen, you need an Instagram filter on your profile picture. All right. Here's some branding principles, guys. Here's some branding principles. Branding principle number 1. People ask their friends for advice, but they give money to experts.
Right.
I'm not kidding you. If you've got friends in your life that constantly ask you for real estate advice, but have never done a contract with you, you're in the friend zone. You got to escape that zone and come to the expert zone, because that's who they give their money to. Number 2, you have to show up like nobody else. Do y'all realize not everybody will like you? Are y'all okay with that? Right, some people have they got to have everybody like them. I had one person didn't like my jacket. I defriended them on Facebook so fast. I'm like, you're not going to bring that negativity in my life, Ricky Bobby. I'm not having it. Okay? All right. See, I'm not kidding you. Like, you can't hang around with negative people. Let me tell you something about friends. Y'all ready? Here's something about friends. Some of y'all think you have friends, but every time you tell them an idea that you have, they say that your idea is crazy, and it will never work. Those aren't friends. Those are critics. Okay? And they need to be defriended today. Okay? And sometimes those are family members, and they criticize your ideas. No, this is the definition of a friend. Hey, I got this crazy idea. I want to write and publish a book. I want to grow my business. I'm going to become locally famous. What do you think? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard of. I want to do it with you. Let's go. That's a friend. That's a friend, right? I mean, I'm not kidding you. Like, that's a friend. The other people are just critics. Here's a big one. Control the narrative. Let me tell you what the narrative is. Personal experience. I'm selling my house right now. I called the expert in town. You know why? Because that's who's getting my money. The one who has showed me that they are the expert in selling real estate nationally. Get my house listed on the market, and I get a letter from Open Door. Yeah. See, we get caught up in all these social media funnels, and I know, listen, I'm big on social media, and you'll learn today I'm big on social media, but let me tell you something. They are hitting your customer in the mailbox. Right? When's the last time you mailed your customer a birthday card? When's the last time you mailed your customer a newsletter? If it's been too long, trust me, Open Door mails me a letter every month. My mama didn't mail me letters that frequently when I went to college. Okay? So I can open it up, and there it is, 3 comps in 2015. With a guaranteed offer. And let me tell you something about the word guaranteed. It's one of the 7 magic words in marketing that get people to say yes. And I don't have time to go into all 7 words today, but guaranteed is one of them. Whenever you tell somebody it's guaranteed, they have a higher propensity to say yes. These guys aren't dummies. They've hired great expert copywriters. Right? And copywriting gets more people persuaded than anything else. And so if you don't know how to copyright, you need to go on Fiverr and find a copywriter for your life, because these guys are copywriting machines. So I look at it, and I'm in the business. I work for Movement. And so I know what's going on here. I'm like, these comps are so old. I mean, it's ridiculous. $50,000 lower than my current list price. Okay? And then I sold with 12 offers, 10K over asking price. You know why? Had an expert real estate agent that got the job done. And he had a ton of confidence. So much confidence, we got a low offer. He called the realtor up and goes, don't come in here with that garbage ever again. Lose my phone number. Bye. That's a confident real estate agent. Right? Okay. Next one last. Nobody. Say nobody. Nobody's going to cheerlead you like who? Yourself. You got to find a way to drag yourself to the bathroom mirror every morning with that bad head and all bad breath and look in the mirror and go, you're a good-looking devil. Good things are going to happen to you today. I just know it. You got to talk out loud to yourself, because, I mean, my wife is like, you're an idiot. I'm like, you married this idiot. You got to get in there and you've got to talk yourself into good things in life, because you've got enough bad devils on your shoulder trying to tell you why you can't, why it's impossible. You've got to talk them off the shoulder and go, look, you're a good-looking devil. After you brush your teeth, you'll smell good too, right? Nobody's going to cheerlead your brand. If you come up with a brand idea and you think somebody's going to go, wow, look at this brand idea, and tell everybody about it, you've lost your mind. Nobody's going to do that. You got to go around telling everybody about it. Like, hey, look at my socks. Did you see my socks? I'm just telling you. You got to tell people. And lastly, your net worth, you know what that is? Cash in the bank is tied to what? The people you know. If you hang around 5 millionaires, you know what I know about you? You're the 6th one coming up. Right? I grew up in the housing projects. My dad died when he was 3, or when I was 3. That would have been amazing if he died. That should turn that into a joke. My dad died when I was 3. My mom had a drug problem. My 2 sisters had real bad drug problems. We grew up with no money and too much month. You ever heard that statement? And the truth of the matter is, nobody came up to me and said, hey, you want to get out of the housing projects? You know how I got out of the housing projects? I walked out. It wasn't a gated community. They didn't have the gates closed. I was like, y'all people are crazy. I'm out. Like, which way's north? I'm leaving this joint. Y'all are messed up. But you know, when in the housing projects, like I left, and you know, my family, they just stayed there, and I'm like, listen, let me tell you something. Y'all should write this down. If you have to drag them in, you have to drag them through. Don't ever beg somebody to do business with you. Because once you beg them, you'll be begging them, and they'll be calling you at 11 o'clock on Saturday night, wanting you to still keep begging them to stay in business with you. You have to drag them in, you have to drag them through. So I got out of there, but I realized something. All those people that lived in the housing projects were broke because all their neighbors were broke. And if you increase your network, the money follows, okay? All right, so I'm going to give you a quick, I'm short on time, so I'm going to give you real life examples of what to do. I met with a real estate agent in Nashville, Tennessee yesterday, and wanted to build his brand. So we were doing a coaching session right there at Panera Bread. Because if you want to go, I'm ready to go, like wherever we're at. And he said, listen, I just sold a couple of $1 million properties. I'm pretty excited about that market. I want to sell more of those. Do you have any ideas on how to get in there? I said, yes, you have to know more people that own $1 million houses. That'll be $100. No, I said, listen, you've got to get in that network. And you know how you get into people's networks? Number one way, Zig Ziglar. You help them get what they want. If you go into those networks door knocking, that's not going to work, because that's what you want. You got to get in there with helping them get where they want. So I'm going to give you guys the very same idea I gave him. Somebody in the room might do it, somebody in the room might not do it. Okay, but here it is. Ready? I said, here's what I would do. I'd take Williamson County, richest county in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where all these people live. And I'd pick out the top 25 entrepreneurs. I'd find who they were. And I would publish me a book. And here's how I publish the book. I call all 25 entrepreneurs up. Actually, I'd hire somebody to do it. Because when you hire somebody to do it, you sound better. You sound like you really got something going on. And so I'd hire somebody to call them up and say, like my wife, Angie. I'd say, hey, call these 25 people and tell them that you're calling from Tim.Davis Publishing Company. And we're writing a brand new book. And they were nominated one of the top 25 entrepreneurs in Williamson County. And you want to come by and interview them to be featured in this book and all the publicity that goes along with it. You're going to meet 25 people, you're going to learn their stories, you're going to publish a book, and you know what? That network of yours just went sky high. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Oh, let me show you this real quick. That's the entire emotional life of a real estate agent. Because half the time I'll talk to agents, I'm like, how's business? Oh, thank you, Jesus. He saved me out of teaching, and now I'm selling real estate. I used to deal with those kindergartners and their snotty noses, but look at me now. And I've got buyers and sellers, and life is great. I love it. I love it. Right? And then I'll call them up a week later and I'm like, how's real estate? And they're like, man, I got to tell you, I'm looking for a real job. I'm like, they doing resumes anymore? Where do you get a real job at these days? That's crazy talk. Y'all don't need to talk like that, okay? Here's some more truth. Y'all like truth? You told me you like truth. Let me tell you something. Building your brand is hard. It's hard. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. Say this out loud. Say, same is lame. Let me demonstrate that for you. What's your name, man? Lee. Great to meet you, buddy. You sell real estate, right? All right, I want to buy a home in Atlanta. This seems like a good place to buy a home. What's your name, sir?
Matthew.
Matthew, do you sell real estate?
I do.
Okay, why should I choose you instead of Lee?
Because I'm the best.
He said, you're terrible, man. That's what he said. You want to give me why I should choose you?
I have more education, more experience, and I'm quicker.
He basically said you're stupid. All right, so I mean, you might be better, but he knows more. What you got to convince me?
I am honest instead of sleepy.
Liar, sleepy, dude. Is that a hard question to answer? Listen, guys, you better have an answer in today's market as to why they choose you. You better go every day going, hey, why me? Why me? Why do I get selected today? Because that's what people are thinking. They're thinking, well, I got this letter guarantee from my buyer, so why leave? You better define that, and you better get that message out. Way too many people in sales are underexposed. They don't get near enough exposure. You ever heard of a guy named Gary Vee?
Yes.
Yeah, he gets a lot of exposure, right? And I know real estate agents that their family don't even know they're in the business. Like, what's John do? I don't know what he does. He used to teach kindergarten, but I don't think he does that anymore. Like, you got to let people know what you do for a living. Let me give you an easy way to answer that question. You ready? This is something you should write down. This is a little trick. People only buy one thing in life: results. That's it. That's all people buy. Listen, Matthew, you sold houses before, right?
Absolutely.
Has anybody ever bought a big house like 3,000 square feet from you or more?
Of course.
Of course. Did the wife say and the husband go, Matthew, we're buying this house because of all the carpet. I want to vacuum it all weekend. Oh!
Absolutely.
Not a chance, right? Did they ever say to you, Lee, I'm buying 2 acres because I want to mow it? No. Right? They buy results. It's close to family, it's close to friends, it's close to shopping, it's got an entertainment center. They buy results. Okay? I'm buying a house right now. And I said, Buddy, you want to know why I'm buying the house? He said, yeah, I really do. I said, because all these people in this neighborhood have money and I need to know who they are. That's why I'm buying that house. Your network's equal to what?
Network.
So I'm just moving in. Right? With my trailer. My clothesline in the backyard. Right, but we'll have a Christmas party, we'll meet the neighbors. All right. Now, building your brand's hard, struggling is hard too. So here's what my wife says about working out. She's like, hey, Tim, being unhealthy's hard, working out's hard, choose your hard. So get on in here and do some burpees. I'm like, dang it. Did you say Slurpees? Because I drink some of those. So I'll go over there because it's hard either way. So every day you get to choose your hard. And here's why building your brand is hard. You ready? Number one reason. Right here. You get a good idea, and then you either let yourself or your friends or your family talk you out of it. Mostly it's yourself. You get a good idea on I-75 by exit 237, you're like, I didn't get a good idea. Right? You just having a conversation with yourself in the car the whole way. I know, because I deal with the same things. I have to talk myself. You think I just got up one day and said, man, that looks good. I just say, phew. No, I'm getting out of the car now. Dear Jesus, here we go again. Somebody's liable to make fun of me. I don't know what's going to happen. You got to talk yourself into it. I just went back and listened to Biggie Smalls, and then I came in here and got the microphone and said, let's go. That's going to wear off in a minute, so we got to get going, all right? But your mind will talk you got to talk your mind into it, not out of it. All right? Now, there's 3 things building your brand is going to cost you. It's going to cost you some time, it's going to cost you some energy, and it's going to cost you some cash. And I meet people all the time, they're like, well, I don't know if I have any money to put on myself right now. You never have a money problem. Never. And nobody's ever convinced me they have a money problem to not be able to invest in their business. What they have is a self-confidence problem. And let me explain that to you. Because I work with a lot of top performers. They're the first person to put down cash. Does every idea they do work out? Nope. Some of them fail. But here's what they always know. If I put my money on myself, I'll find a way to win. People that have low self-confidence won't put any money on themselves because they're like, I might lose. If you go through life with a might lose attitude, you're going to lose. You got to go through life like, I'm going to win, or learn something to win better next time. All right, I want to talk about sales real quick because we got to learn how to sell, man. Step number 1, if you're going to sell, you got to sell you on you. And we talked about that, right? The good-looking devil thing. Some of y'all are going to go home tonight and be like, I'm You look at that one, kids be like, what? All right. Step 2, you have to find ways to create conversations. You have to find ways to create conversations. Raise your hand if you just get up in the morning and think, man, I want to cold call all day long. Give me just a phone book, I'll call them all. Nobody wants to do that, right? But if Pete, right, what's a phone book? Yeah, well, I heard about it one time. And so, I'm just like a millennial times 3. All right, so, but nobody wants to cold call. Nobody wants to do that. Right? I mean, one person said he enjoyed it. I think he's got issues. Okay? But if somebody comes up and talks to you, can you handle a conversation? 5 reasons that people want to talk to you. Write this down. Become locally famous. Become locally famous. Because I can guarantee you that all the customers in Atlanta and the whole area down here are getting open door letters. They're all getting them. They're not going to stop because the open doors are not going to go, well, you know, we just don't want to send to Matthew's neighborhood because I don't want to hurt Matthew. They're going to send it to all those neighborhoods. If you're not locally famous, somebody at church is going to be sitting there going, hey, I got an open door letter. And somebody else is going to go, yeah, you should do that. It's a good deal. But if you're locally famous, they're going to be, no, you need to call Lee first because that's a scam. Okay? You need to become locally famous. Then develop connections with people. Right? Find hobbies, interests, pets. Listen, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. It's hard to talk football with some people. Right? See? Now, my man, what's your name? Cowboy, baby. Right? The rest of y'all like, I'm done. I'm going to go get a cookie. He's talking about Cowboy. But if you were an Atlanta fan, I'd talk to you about Atlanta football. Find connections with people and then offer them solutions. Too often in sales, I see it all day long. People are trying to offer people stuff that means nothing to them. Right? And you wonder why the sale didn't close, because they didn't want what you had because you didn't know what the message should have been. Now, I know y'all learned about disruption. We talked about disruption. This is why building your brand is super important. Okay? Because let me tell you something. You're not going to outspend them on Facebook. You think you're going to outspend Zillow on Facebook? Not Amazon? No way. I got a buddy that was generating 400 leads a day in our space on Facebook. 400 leads a day. And you're like, wow, how did he do that? He spent $25,000 a month. Plus another $15K on his YouTube video channel. Right? And I talk to real estate agents all the time, like, well, I boosted it for $5, I think. Got some stuff going. I mean, 6 people like it. We're on the move. And I'm sitting there going, man, you need to talk to David. He just dropped 25 large on Facebook. Right? They're going to outspend you at some point, and Facebook's going to up the ante anyway. They're not going to give you dollar clicks forever. Okay? They're not done. So we got to find other ways to build up our network to win. But the rise of the iBuyers and media on TV and social, they're everywhere. They're like those locusts that come out. You know when those come out? Good Lord, how long is this going to last? They're everywhere. They're attacking it from every angle. So we got to find ways to win. Y'all seen this guy, Chad Prather? Yeah. All right. Listen, let me tell you something about social media. You ready? What's more popular on social media? The great countertops you just took a picture of, or a cat playing piano? Write this down. Buy a cat. Teach them how to play piano. Sell more houses. Thank y'all. It's good seeing y'all today. Done. I'm telling you, listen. This guy's got millions of views on his videos, and y'all are trying to be like, I got a drone to do my video of my house. I think it's a good one. He's out there sitting in the car with his dog. I can tell you something, like when I do a video with my dog in the car, everybody watches it. When it's just me, like 3 people watch it. Get a dog. Write that down. I'm serious about that. Get a dog. All right. I went to his comedy tour, and this is what he said at his comedy tour. He's like the ultimate man. He might be the manliest man I've ever met because of what he did. He quit his full-time job and he didn't tell his wife he did it. Right? That's dumb, right? I mean, can you imagine me walking in tonight? Y'all don't know Angie, but just imagine. Hey Angie, today was my last event, I quit. Y'all would be reading Tim.Davis dies in tragic accident. Okay? No way, I'm too scared. There's a chance I would never tell my wife I quit my job. But he did. He said, honey, I quit my job. And she said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to make a living being myself. Don't tell your wife I'm going to make a living being myself. Don't ever, because your wife's going to look at you like, dude, are you crazy? And she said to him, this is what she said. She said, honey, here's the big question. What's the street value of your personality? I can tell you something, after being in the business for 15 years on the lending side and then coaching for 10 years, personality has so much to do with results. In fact, personality has more to do with results than strategy. I can give 10 people the same script, and they'll all bring me different results. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. Everybody sings. You go to any church in Nashville, it's got the best choir in the world. You know why? Because they were drunk Saturday night, but they need to keep practicing, so they're singing in the choir on Sunday. They're all talented. They all got Sony record deals. But here's what I've learned. I worked with a lot of artists on Music Row when I was in the business. And what I learned from them all, they said everybody can sing. And some of them can't sing. We can just put computers on them and make them sound like they can sing. Okay? But you know who gets the contracts? People with personality. I'm not kidding you. Watch the WWE. Yeah, everybody laughs when I say that. Vince McMahon took those guys out of the VW places, right? The VA places, and then he's got $1 billion organization, and it's all based on fake sport. Seriously. And the way he does it through marketing, he creates characters. I know y'all laugh about watching. I record all the WWE stuff because I'm trying to figure out, like, what are you doing character-wise? How are you developing a story? How can I use that in my local marketing? Let me put it to you this way. Do y'all know who The Rock is? Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. All right. So. Gotta be funny. Gotta be funny. All right. I'm not going to go through that. I'm not going to go through that. Oh, there's the family, by the way. Somebody said, do you have more than one jacket? I'm like, well, sure. I got to wear the black because it's after Labor Day. But when Labor Day's over with, we're going white. Yeah, fashion, right? And then that's the dog, right? That's Landry. You'll meet her in a second. We got her in the car. I'm just teasing. But she's very famous. She has almost 7,000 Instagram followers. Okay? She's been on every news channel in Nashville. She's super famous. We went to the WWE at Bridgestone Arena. We got floor seats. We walked down. And I'm not kidding you, the lady in the front that had a little flashlight to show you, she goes, oh my God, you're Landry's parents. And I was like, you're right. She's like, I'm going to upgrade y'all. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, let's go back there where they've got the locker rooms, right? But can you notice, like, branding just happens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time, okay? Now, let me give you an example of this, all right? There's two things we do every year. We do a Halloween party and a Christmas party, and I'll tell you about why those are important in a minute. But do y'all send out Christmas cards? Yeah. Do you get Christmas cards? Yes. And at the end of the Christmas, what do you do with your Christmas cards? Shame. You're going to talk to Jesus about that. He's going to be mad at you. So listen, everybody puts their cards in the trash at the end of Christmas. And I said, not me. No, I don't want my Christmas card in your trash. I want my Christmas card to stay with you all year long. So 8 years ago, we started Crazy Christmas Cards. And so when you get on my Christmas card list, this is how I promote it. I'm like, listen, this is a one-time only, this year, collectible Christmas card for Tim and Andrew. When you call something collectible, people don't throw it away. They think it has value. But when you say, hey, can I get your address and send you a Christmas card? You're like, yeah, sure. Same as what, guys? Same as what? That's why you all want to get a collectible Christmas card from me. Let me tell you another thing about Crazy Christmas Cards, because that was the one from 2015. Here's what else I know about it. Write this down. Get more exposure and be more intentional about doing it. I'm not kidding with you with that. Be intentional about getting more people to know who you are. And so you're having Christmas parties at your house. I'm willing to spend $2 to get a Christmas card to you, because here's what I know. Tell me your name, sir. Herb. Here, Herb's going to get on my Christmas card list. He's going to get one of them outrageous Christmas cards. All right. And yeah, give me your card. And this is what Herb's going to do. I'm going to meet all Herb's friends. Let me tell you how I'm going to do it. You ready? Herb might know some people I need to know. Huh? I'm not going to market to you. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all see this card? Watch it disappear. All right. Now listen, let me tell you how I'm going to meet all your friends in a really cool way. I'm going to send you a Crazy Christmas card. And it's going to be outrageous. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to have a Christmas party. And your friends are going to come over. And you've never once at your Christmas party said, hey, come up here and look at the cards I got from Walgreens. See, look at all these Walgreens Christmas cards I got. Aren't they pretty? No, those are all the same. He's gonna go, I got this crazy friend in Nashville, you ain't gonna believe what they did for their, come here and look at this. And then he's gonna show off my Christmas card to all his friends. And then they're gonna connect with me on social media, and I'm gonna grow my network. Does that make sense, guys? You gotta be different, because same as what? I told you I grew up in housing projects, didn't I? Straight ghetto right there. See? Look at that, gangster lean. I've got it going on. We got a rule in our house, don't do anything halfway. If you're gonna go in, go all the way in. So everybody got track jackets, from Adidas, the whole 9 yards. We were building a house one year that was supposed to be done at Christmas, but wasn't. So go figure that. But we just went out there and took the picture anyway. I said, this is going to be a whole lot better than us all pretty dolled up in front of a Christmas tree. I'm out there at the porta john with 3 dogs and my wife in a woman's bathrobe. That's right, Herb. I put on a woman's bathrobe. I will do whatever it takes to get attention. Now, through social media, we built the following up. When we put out our Christmas card list, we put it out. We're going to start putting it out in October. How many people want to sign up for a crazy Christmas card? You'll see it. If you follow me on social media, you'll start to see it. You'll just go to postable.com, my little landing page, and you'll fill out all your information. Now I've got your physical address, I'm going to mail you a card. Right? Not just any card. A collectible card. Okay? Do not bend, do not throw away. Okay? And now I've got a database. But I've got a database because I'm not pitching you. Does that make sense? I'm getting to know you. Right? And you're getting to know me. Now, create experiences for people. This is another way to position yourself and build your brand. And here's why experiences are so super important. People will pay for an experience. They'll talk about it, and they'll voluntarily take a selfie. I see you guys trying to get selfies at the closing table. Y'all don't know what to do with your hands. Everybody's awkward posing. What if your experience was so awesome that they voluntarily took a picture? Oh, this is my realtor, check out this. Okay? How do you create amazing experiences for people? Because people love experiences. They pay big money for an experience. They share it with their friends. Here's 2 ideas. Every year we hold a Christmas party. Now our first Christmas party had 10 people show up. Right? This year we're expecting over 250. It's attached to the last minute toy store. To get in the door, all you do is bring a brand new unwrapped toy. Don't bring me some toy that your kid's been playing with for 3 years. Bring me a new unwrapped toy and you come to my Christmas party. Okay? We'll be in our new house at 2702 Belvoir Court in Mount Joe, Tennessee. I'll write that down. I'll see you there. Okay? Now, this is what's happened. Is it's grown every year. We've got more people coming because it's a big experience. It's not come see Tim and come see Angie because they could care less, right? We have Santa Claus show up. He's the man of the year, right? We have him show up. The Nashville Predators, hottest thing going in Nashville, Tennessee right now. Everybody loves the hockey team. Everybody. We get the mascot to show up. I played in the Predators charity golf tournament this year to meet some of the celebrities. Invited them. I got some celebrities showing up this year. Right? Expanding that network. And they're all going to be posting about it on social media. But like, I'm at Tim and Angie's party, look, Nash was here. It will go nuts during that time of the year. Okay? Plus we're expanding our connection, expanding our network. Second thing we do is crazy Halloween parties. Same thing, toy for the toy store, but you better show up in costume. Because if you're going to be Chewbacca, start growing a beard today. I mean, don't get no plastic mask at Walmart and show up and I'll kick you out. Like, you got to come as the real deal. Again, because we're going to have all these pictures and and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Does that make sense, guys? Building networks, building relationships, creating connections, then asking that network to help us build our business. Make sense? Here's another, y'all need to write this one down. People would rather be entertained than educated. How many of y'all went to college? No college, we could spell the word college if we had to test. Okay. How many of y'all said, man, I can't wait to go to the 3 p.m. history lecture today? Whew. Yeah, that sounds fun. No. My buddies and me, we look at them like, what do you got this morning? I got algebra and history. And I'm like, well, there's a pickup ball game down the street. But like, that sounds a whole lot better. Let's go do that. That's why I flunked out of college, by the way. right? I got an F in college, but an A in pickup basketball. Because nobody wants to go to a lecture. People would rather be entertained than educated. I meet agents all the time that say, hey, I'm going to do a 7-part video series of how to buy a house. I was like, you're going to have to pay people to watch it. I mean, who's going to sit there and go, man, I'm watching 7 videos of how to buy. I can't wait. Sounds awesome. Oh, man, this is great. I met a friend of mine who owns a real estate company. He said, man, we got over hundreds and hundreds of hours of training videos on our online library. He goes, everybody should come work at my company. I'm like, dude, I'm worn out. You're just talking about it. I don't watch hundreds of hours of Dallas Cowboys football, and I love those guys. I fast forward to the... People want to be entertained, find ways to entertain them. Go take a comedy class. Go take an improv class. I'm not kidding you. I took 6 weeks worth of comedy class. Some of y'all are like, he needs to go back. Y'all need to... You got it. Ripped off, Davis. Right? Be funny. Be funny and be authentic and be real. All right, let's keep going. I want you to think about these questions. Y'all keep me up on time, John?
Yes.
How much time?
20 more minutes.
All right. Who do you want to become and what do you want to be known for? Think about that. Because every day you paint that image on the minds of people in the marketplace. And if you're not intentional about it, they're going to come up with a name for you. They're going to put a label on you. They used to call me the kid from the housing projects. I'm like, that is not the label we're sticking with. We're changing that label. And you have to be intentional about it. You have to position, package, and promote your way to how you want to be viewed and what you want to be known for. Does that make sense, guys? Now, what's more important, having experience or having influence? Yes. See, experience never stops. Because you're going to sell a house or work with a buyer for the first time and have something happen that you've never had happen in your career. So I don't know when your experience never stops if you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. Influence can be built rapidly within 30 days. You can build influence in the marketplace if you're willing to get past the mental blocks and just do a few things that are way outside the box. Because we've done it over and over and over again. And we're going to talk about that. One last thing, I'm going to teach you the strategies on building influence. See, when I was in high school, it was like a popularity contest, and I was a broke kid from the housing project. So I left high school to get out of that whole popularity contest, went to college, I'm not really a studious person. I don't know if I'm not an academic. I don't know if I'm kind of a redneck. But this is how it is, right? That's why I can't spell, because I didn't really pass class. But I can generate business, right? Generate business. Because write this down. The best agent doesn't get the most business, period. Write that down. The best marketer does. I can bring my buddy David, who knows zero about your industry, get him to pass a test. And within 6 months, he'll have more business than most people would, because he understands marketing first. Okay? All right, so I got out of college, got into business. I was a mortgage broker. People used to make fun of me. They're like, oh, you're a mortgage broker? Oh, that's a terrible industry to be in. I'm like, but dude, I got a briefcase and everything. I tried to dress the part. I didn't have anything to go in the briefcase, but I was like, I got a briefcase. I'm a mortgage broker. And they're like, oh man, that's a terrible business. And I was like, oh my gosh, they will judge you by your profession. Don't believe me? You ever judged a used car salesperson? Mm-hmm. You ever judged a network marketer? Oh, I'm not coming over your house for pizza because all you do is draw circles on whiteboards. I ain't doing that. We judge people by their profession all the time. Let me show you something, guys. They did a survey a few years back, and they just asked a simple question: do you trust real estate agents? This was 2013. 65% of the people said no. Now, the iBuyer community like to play on that narrative. They like to play on that narrative, so y'all aren't trustworthy. Right? We got guaranteed offers over here. You don't know what they're going to do. They're going to bring all kinds of creepy people through your house. You don't have to worry about it. They're playing on that emotional narrative. Because here's the thing, guys. People buy based on logic, right? No. They buy based on emotion. That's why the princess at the house has a BMW X5. Not because we need one. Because the princess wanted one. Right? And so the princess and the dog go riding in the BMW. Right? I got a bike. Okay. Now, look. The millennial buyers, 72% of them responded that they didn't trust real estate agents. Now, some of these people have never bought a house before, gang. So where do they get the opinion that you're untrustworthy? They've never even worked with you before. Mom and dad. Their parents. Facebook. Number one place, the media. The media controls the narrative. This was an MSNBC report, just came out. 80% now don't trust agents. We were at 67, and y'all were like, good Lord, now we're at 80%. So we got to redefine who we are and reposition, repackage, and re-promote our brand in the marketplace. Because you don't think the iBuyer community will use something like that? They will use the media to shape the minds of people. There's your number one influencers. Think about this for a second. What if they came on Fox Atlanta tonight and said, hey, housing prices are going to decline 8% in the next 6 months? Most of y'all are going to be running around the office going, I need a script. Somebody give me a script. They're trying to take the sign out the yard, man. Come on. Let's go through some classes. Let's help. I'm telling you, that's how much influence. Have those people ever sold a house? Nope. But who has the influence? You or them? So what's more important, experience or influence? Okay. Did y'all see that on Facebook? Y'all take a second. Look. This is why you don't need a cat real quick, learn how to play music. The average home that's listed on Facebook that doesn't have money put into it for advertising has 3 likes on average. 3. You know who likes it? Your mama. Because you're her baby and she wants you to be successful. Number 2, your assistant. Because when you hire them, you're like, hey, look, part of the job, line 3, like everything on Facebook that I do. And share it to all 16 of your friends. You got that? Okay. And then number 3, you know who the third person is? The loan officer trying to take you to lunch. They will like it, they will share it to their business page, and immediately call you and go, hey, I got Taco Bell coupons today, y'all free? That's how it goes. But now, look at this realtor. Realtor sets a home on fire after what? Homeowner signed not to sell. Lee, is that what y'all are doing out there, brother? You just going up to people's houses going, hey, you better get out of here. I'm door knocking. Hey, I see you in there by the kitchen. I got gasoline. Is that how it works? This is what we're going to do. We're going to take a field trip. We got buses out front. Be sure as you load the bus, get your gasoline can. We are going to list some houses today, guys. It's all. You're not coming to CE. No, we're coming to make cash. Now listen, let me tell you what happened here. Think about the best post you ever made on Facebook. You got the best one you ever made, and it wasn't a house problem. It was a cat, a kid, a dog. You got the one that really, you were like, man, this thing's viral. Did 4.2 million people see it? Did 7,800 people give you an emoji? What about this? Did 3,307 people share it? Man, now did that really happen? Well, y'all answered that awful quick, because earlier I thought we said that we lived in a crazy, messed up world. Y'all want to reconsider? Y'all think that an agent would have done that? Yes. Really? They're beheading people on TV. Y'all think an agent wouldn't do that? Some crazy stuff going on in the world. Y'all want to reconsider, or you're going to stick with that? It's possible. I had an agent in one of my classes say, well, one of my agents smokes a lot. It could have been him. It might have been on accident. I don't know. Now listen, it didn't really happen. Somebody doctored that up, but that's on Facebook and being shared. It's probably even more viral today than when I put it on my presentation 3 years ago. All right. I'm just going to tell you a couple things, and we're going to break down a couple items, and then we're going to wrap up. And maybe we can come back and do another 3-hour session sometime. That sound good, y'all? I want 3 hours worth of comedy. Yeah, okay. All right, self-doubt's real and fear is real. I know everybody deals with it. I deal with it. Everybody got self-doubt. You know how I know self-doubt's real? Because I go to the hockey game with my wife, and it's 72 selfies before the one we can post on Facebook. I know that's self-doubt. I don't like the angle. I don't like the way my mouth looks. My hair's out of shape. Guys are like, take one selfie, and we're like, oh yeah, let's get it posted. All right, say yes to everything, because here's what's going to dictate your success: the speed of action, not the speed of perfection. I had a guy text me in one of my coaching programs. He texted me, he said, hey, I'm just having trouble writing my bio. And I said, just write your name and this is what you do and be done. I'm sick of this. Like, just put that on there. I mean, we've been trying to write a bio for a month. Just put your name on it. That's it. Born this date, does this, name. If that's as far as you can get, that's great. I'll celebrate it. But let's just get on with it. Stop texting me about doing your bio. Because let me ask you a question. What's your name, sir?
Jared.
Jared, has anybody ever called you to list the house? Oh yeah. Did they ever say, hey Jared, I'm calling you and the number one reason I'm choosing you is because you got Helvetica in your fund. I've been a fan of Helvetica since I was 3 years old. I was in kindergarten and they said, look at this Helvetica fund. I was like, oh, I love it. I'm going to call a realtor one day that has Helvetica. They never called you because your logo had Helvetica in it. Or because your tagline said that you serve them better than everybody else. And it was in Roman italics. They were like, oh my gosh, let's call them. They'll help us out. They got Roman italics on. Success favors speed of that implementation. Look at this guy. Think of him every time you have self-doubt. Say, you know, Tim told me I could do this and grow my business, but I doubt that I can. Uh-oh, Richard Simmons is coming to get me. Not one part. I've never asked you to wear short shorts and a tank top, have I? Don't. You don't have to do that to build your brand, but you have to get past yourself. All right, here we go. Oh, best marketer always wins. It's my favorite. Nicole Lopez, $250 worth of free tacos if you buy her house. Y'all are putting phone riders on there hoping somebody will call. She's up there soliciting what? Tacos. Because y'all know if people don't like tacos, they got issues. So you know you're going to naturally attract the right buyer. But look how viral her picture is. Because nobody sees that. See, we keep doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. We got the same head-to-box shot, we got the same logo, we got the same Helvetica font, and she's got $250 worth of free tacos, and she's viral on social media. Right? Would you buy somebody $250 worth of free tacos if they bought a house? Yes. Absolutely. I get the salsa too. They're like, here, I'm going to get you cheese dip. Okay. Here's the reasons that people have a brand. Number one, they have a definitive point of view. They're very confident in their point of view. Number two, they have a very clear message to a very specific audience. We try to work with too many people sometimes. We're like, hey, if you know anybody's buying or selling real estate, tell them to call me. And then we're surprised that somebody wants to buy a double wide. You ask for it? So listen to them. Their friends have double wides too. You can sell $50,000 homes all day. In a market that we're in right now, hyper-local marketing wins every time. And I'm going to show you how to do it. They're memorable, they're consistent, they're unique, and they're seen in the media. We got 10 minutes or 15 minutes? What we got?
13.
13 minutes. All right. Okay, hang on. Oh. That's my dog. She's very popular on social media. You know why? Because people like pets more than they like people. It's true. It's true. I taught a Sunday school class, had 120 adults in it, and I was like, I'm not sure Jesus like some of y'all. I mean, I know. And he's like, you can't tell them that. You're supposed to teach them. I'm like, I'm just telling them the truth. Tell it to him, not to him. I can't stand it. Bring the dog in there. Everybody loves the dog. Okay? So we started marketing our dog in Nashville. And we started marketing her in connection with the Nashville Predators. Why? It's the hottest thing going. Find the hottest thing going and get in line with that. So we've been marketing her alongside the Nashville Predators for 2 years. Her fan base is huge. I met a guy at the Panera Bread the other day. No kidding. He came up to me and goes, I have a question. It seems a little weird. I'm like, what is it? He goes, are you Landry's dad? I was like, yeah. He goes, you're in the mortgage business too. I was like, yeah. He goes, I saw you sold your home. Can I get the name of your realtor? Because I'm using that realtor. Landry's good with that agent? I'm good with that agent. I'm like, what is that? Yeah. Well, the reason my dog's famous is she talks. So that helps. But that's some of her videos. Remember she was Landry Quee. Right? Y'all remember that? It's a complicated order. Y'all remember that? This was Staying Alive. When the Preds got kicked out of the playoffs, we thought, well, let's go down to Target, get her a bikini, put her by the pool, call it bikini season. That went real well. Most famous videos were Twisted Shepherd. Y'all get it? Okay. And then Word to the Preds. That's the one that got us on the news. Okay? So it got really popular among moms with kids and grandparents with grandkids. So let me tell you a marketing rule. Market to people's pets and market to their kids, and they'll sign contracts with you. What do they love more than anything? Kids and pets. Spouses come in like dead last. I don't know about my husband, but yeah, my dog I'm keeping. You know? Kids and pets, market to them. So we started creating cartoon characters. We built this up long before we started monetizing it, because we wanted to get in a niche circle and give value first. Sometimes in business we try to sell before we get value, okay? Now we got our little brother, that's Puck, right? He'll break your heart, man. He'll eat your shoe and break your heart at the same time. I know that firsthand. But we went to the pet store, we've got him a paw signing, right? Come get your picture made with Puck. His sister's famous. And we made a coloring book for him. And I think it's in the package. And those coloring books cost us $1 to print. $1. And this is what we do at football, or at hockey games. We post on a 30,000 page fan for the Predators. Hey, Landry's mom is going to be in section 114. She's got 10 free coloring books. Come find her. Landry's dad is in section 117. Now he's got 10 free coloring books. Come find him. And people just come up to us and talk to us. We build networks. Does that make sense, guys?
Where do you get the coloring books from?
I don't have time to talk about that today. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I found an artist on Fiverr, Fiverr.com. I found my artist there, and then I have a printer in Nashville, Tennessee, John Garrison. If you see me afterwards, I'll give you his number. Or just email me. It's Tim.Davis at movement.com, and I'll give you his number. He prints them really inexpensively. So again, give value first. There's our hockey jerseys. Let me tell you how we do it down here. Atlanta Falcons pretty popular. A lot of people go to Atlanta Falcons games. Trust me, Landry would be an Atlanta Falcons dog. You see where I'm coming from with that? Get in, or United Soccer. Yeah, we would find a way for that dog to learn how to play soccer. Okay. I don't have a ton of time. I don't want to show you so many things. Everybody talks to me about doing video. I think video's good, but dear God, don't ever go up to anybody and go, hey, would you like to watch some of my videos online? Because they're like, dude, that's creepy. I ain't watching anything. If you're going to do a video, call it a television series. Right? Be the producer and host of your own television series. Can I borrow somebody's cell phone real quick? I'll give it right back. Can I borrow your phone? Thanks. This is how you produce a television show. You turn on the video and you're like, hey, this is Tim.Davis, brand new show here in Atlanta called Atlanta Real Estate Today. I'm the host and producer, glad you're viewing. That's how you start a television show. Right? Now most people say, well, Tim, I don't like how I look on camera. That's what they'll say. I don't know how I like how I look on video. Let me tell you guys something. Y'all ready for this? This is how you look. I mean, if you're worried about how do you go to the grocery store? Do you go to the grocery store like this? Don't look at me, I don't like the way I look. Turn on the camera and record, okay? Two shows that you can do super easy that will grow your business. Restaurants and real estate. Dale Irwin's been doing this for 2 years in Fort Worth, Texas. He goes to a restaurant, talks about their food, and then he talks about real estate in the immediate vicinity. For 6 months, everybody thought he was weird. Nobody watched his videos. But he just kept doing it. Now today, restaurants pay him to show up and critique. So he's getting a side hustle plus the real estate business. Not too shabby. Become locally famous. Write that down. Dave Woodson. He produces a television show every week called The Top 5 Listings in Chicago. He picks them. Right? He picks the very best listings with the big sales prices that don't have a lot of repairs. And that's who he promotes. And then the buyers call him, he goes and shows them. He did that for almost a year solid with mediocre results, but he stayed the course, and today real estate agents pay him to actually feature their listing on his show.
You think you need their permission?
So yeah, you do. You do. He would ask them, and some of them said no. And those people now wish they'd said yes. Right? So if you ask permission and somebody said, no, I don't want you to market my property, you go, all right, have you got a fever? What's wrong with you? Okay? Are you like money? Are you allergic to cash? Okay? But you do need to ask him. He did that. Some people said no, some people said yes, but he stuck with it. Now he's got a really popular television show up there in Chicago. All right. I'm going to buzz through this. So I got 5 minutes left. Okay. I'm gonna teach you two things and we're gonna wrap this thing up. And if you want the big version, just hook up with John. We can come down to Atlanta anytime, because I live in Nashville. It's like a 3-hour event, you get a ton of content. What do you say when somebody asks you what you do for a living? I'm gonna teach you how to say this in a way that doesn't put you in a bad light. Remember I used to say I'm a mortgage broker, and they go, ugh. That doesn't help you. Now you're prejudged, okay? Here's how you answer the question. My name is Tim.Davis, and I work with entrepreneurs in Atlanta, Georgia, who want to buy homes in gated communities so that they can have privacy and also have exclusive parties. Make sense? Hey, my name's Tim.Davis, and I work with young professionals in the Atlanta community who just got married, who want to buy a home in a great neighborhood so they can start raising a family. Specific audience, specific want, specific result. Does that make sense? My name is, I work with baby boomers who are ready to move down into a one-level place and enjoy their retirement. You can have as many of these as you want, but you better know who your group is, what they want, and most importantly, why they want it. Does that make sense? Practice that, test it, and people will actually come to you by the droves. I'm going to show you one last thing and we're going to be done. Lord, I'm tired. Are you all tired? Okay. Oh, by the way, did y'all know you can rent billboards in Atlanta for like $1 a day? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Y'all need to write that down. It's called Blip Billboards. So they have all these electronic billboards, and it's like Facebook advertising, so you can set your daily budget. So you can do it for $1 a day or $2 a day. Listen, people aren't going to call you and go, hey, listen, I saw you on the billboard. Come sell my house. Is that Helvetica font that you had? Because it sure looked like it. But they're going to start to recognize you at the grocery store. They're going to start to recognize you. Okay? So for $30, $40 a month to be on a couple of billboards in town, no brainer, right, for exposure. All right, last thing I'll show you is my most famous thing, my favorite thing. Having your own book. We already said earlier that if you tell somebody something, they may or may not believe it, and they may check you out with their friends. But if you wrote it, they're like, oh, that's a Bible verse, isn't it? Okay? They take written books seriously. They don't read them, but they believe them. Okay? Specific books. This is one of my clients in Michigan. He wrote this book. Home Buying Made Easy for Veterans. A specific book. Not Home Buying Made Easy in Detroit. That doesn't speak to anybody. Home Buying Made Easy for Veterans. We did this book in under 5 weeks. Okay? Got it printed, got it published, got it on Amazon. Paid for a $300 booth at a veterans event where it was just like all these veterans were going to show up. He had a competing mortgage company next to him. They were giving away a TV. He was registering for his books. He has 53 active clients, 8 closing this month, 6 closing next month, and the rest of them are in the pipeline. Because they saw him as what? Not the friend. See, the friend gives away a free TV. Right? The expert gives you a copy of the book. And there's an example, like once you have the book, the contents are the same. Because we've done this in Nashville. Buying a home made easy for entrepreneurs. Buying a home made easy for investors. Buying a home made easy for newlyweds. Once you have the guts, you change one chapter to the niche market. What y'all laughing at? I grew up in the housing projects.
Buying a home made easy.
Right? Made easy for what group? For veterans, for newlyweds, for investors? Within 2 months, you can have like 10 different books on Amazon for each niche market. And we've done this so many times. Okay, let's talk about it real quick. How many pages does the National Book Association of America say your book has to have to be legit? I don't even know if that place exists. And if they do, I don't care. See, I grew up around all these rules. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I was like, I don't like rules. I like suggestions. In all honesty, you don't have to have any number of pages. There's a really famous book. It's about 300 pages. It's called Everything Men Know About Women. It's been on the New York Times bestseller not once, but twice. Everything men know about women. 300 pages. Not a word in it. It's completely blank. Meet me afterwards, Lee. We'll write a 600-page version of what we've learned since version 1 came out. That'll make the New York Times bestseller for sure. Thicker book, it must have more info in it. In all honesty, listen, the number of pages doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? The font size you write in doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it has pictures, right? It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. It's your book. This one, 75, right? Mine, this is all the stuff that I get to talk about today. 79, right? But it's got a barcode on it. You can take it to Amazon or Barnes & Noble and they'll go, bloop. And they're like, oh, look, we got one on the shelf right now. So don't let your mind figure out like, well, how many pages, how many this, how many that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What matters is it's done. Because done is better than what? Perfect. Does that make sense? I'm out of time. Thank you for having me out. Thank you guys. I'll hang out for a little bit. That's scary right there.
We're going to let Tim answer some questions while we get Shanta set up for her presentation.
Cool. Oh, all right, questions. Yes, sir.
For social media, a lot of folks, they say, well, you got to talk about what you're doing a lot, and then a lot of people don't want to hear about your real estate career on your personal page.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you feel? You got to mix and match. You got to have a business page.
Well, I think your business pages, and I'm sure she'll talk about this, so I don't want to step on her toes. I'll just tell you what I do. Okay. It's social media, number one, changes so frequently to keep up with it's like head turning. Okay, I believe personality matters. If you're likable in real life, you're probably likable on social media. And I'll pick on my wife a little bit. My wife has a DC personality on the disc profile, which means her I is really low. So when you meet her, you think she's unfriendly and various things. And subsequently, like her Facebook gets like 2 or 3 likes per stuff, right? Me, I'm a DI. I throw a lot of comedy on there, and I can throw Landry going to the bathroom in the backyard and 250 people will like it. But Angie can put the same picture up there and have 3. So I think personality plays a big part in it. And then you can always set up a profile. To me, like if I was going to sell real estate, I would say, okay, look, if you want to learn about my television show, Atlanta Real Estate Today, buzz over here. And then I can actually advertise that specifically to a group of people that might be interested in that content. I thought more on the less on the paid side and more on the organic side. That's me. Good question. Anybody else?
So you do mortgages or you go?
What do? I tell jokes around the country.
You actually like do mortgages or?
So I did mortgages for 15 years. And I did all these things to stand out and brand myself. I wrote a book, I did all this kind of stuff. And then I would teach masterminds to my real estate agents in Nashville. I'm like, if it worked for me, it'll work for you. And then the more I did that, I got into coaching. And now my full-time job is the National Director of Coaching for Movement Mortgage. So I run the entire coaching platform there. And then this class is just one we run around the country and teach.
We're going to have a party with you soon. Would you like to
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Yeah, 27 people recording. Yeah, just show up. Bring it on.
So I just step back in here, but you're not going to try to sell something? I thought you were going to sell something here at the end.
My books are $10. You want that? I brought some if you want to buy them for $10.
Can we hire you for events?
Yeah, possibly. Let's work with John, because if we work with John, they'll pick up the tab. Is it a real estate event or what is it?
John's not as funny.
Well, I'll come. He'll just pay the bill. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
I'm not big into pitching. Like I got the book writing program. I've got a course for that. So if you want your book pre-done, like turkey and pop them out real quick, you can pay me for that. We've already written it, so no need to go home and try to figure it out. You just pay me, and we'll change the cover, and the book will be done. We teach that. But you should buy a book today, though. These are $10. I'll autograph them too. Yes, sir. You have to know people who rob some people to find stuff like this. You just can't get it off the street. Loudmouth Golf, loudmouthgolf.com. Loudmouthgolf.com. Yes, ma'am. $2.25 plus the shipping to your front door. No minimum order quantity, so you can order 2 or 10 or 0. Amazon. Yeah, I use Kindle Direct Publishing, so if you Google search Kindle Direct Publishing, it'll show you how-to videos and everything on how to do the book. And then it just shows up on their author page up there, and then you can print 1, 2, 10, whatever, and hand them out. I give them away. Yes, sir. Never. I've never heard a stupid question yet.
But like you're funny, some of us are Steve, we're very serious. So
Yeah.
how do you transform your personality?
You don't. You don't transform your personality. You always have to be yourself. You can never try to be somebody that you're not. But see, I'm a little bit more reserved, to be honest with you. I just assumed to sit home this afternoon and honestly, I mean, that would be, or go golf. I mean, I'm just sort of I'll go golf by myself. I won't even call people to go golf. But like, I got that part of my personality that I can turn on. And so I just turn it on at that point. So you have to find out what your personality is and go, answer those questions. Who do I want to become and what do I want to be known for? Right? There's plenty of personalities out there that not everybody's like the crazy personality. Because listen, there's people that are like, I'm way too much for them. They're like, hell no, I ain't doing right? And, they think I'm a little crazy and goofy or whatever. And then there's other people like, yeah, bring him on, he's going to party. Anybody else?
One more question.
It's hard to get it all in an hour and a half, right? But thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are the best. You should come buy my books at $10.